This is abrupt and miserable information for Hollywood this evening after entertainer Matthew Perry was tracked down dead in the hot tub in his Los Angeles home soon after 4 p.m. California time. He will be recognized as that person that made us giggle on Companions, changed his life for 10 years. He was on the number one show on TV, made millions and a great many dollars in a tragic wind that understands straight of a grievous Hollywood content. Matthew Perry, loved worldwide as the clever Chandler Bing from Companions, was found inert at his Los Angeles home, lowered in a hot tub. The dearest entertainer, just 54, remaining, the world addressing what prompted the troublesome end of such a splendid star, famous for his easy humor and enamoring presence on screen. Perry's process was a mix of stunning ups and overwhelming downs. A year after the arrival of his diary Companions, darlings, and the enormous horrible thing which uncovered the dualities of his life, the entertainer confronted his last drapery, his end, at first credited to cardiovascular breakdown, has left fans and companions in a condition of shock, with many catching to comprehend the unexpected loss of such a striking ability. Police vehicles covering his road, short-term firemen and paramedics answering a call at his home. The official reason for death, however, is still being scrutinized. Perry's diary, a sincere disclosure, displayed his battle with individual devils, laying out an image of a man moving on the edge from his first brush with drugs at the young age of 14 to his fight with physician-recommended drug following a stream ski mishap. Perry's life was a fierce ride. His words in the event that this doesn't kill me, I'm doing this once more, repeated, an unpleasant feeling. The Saturday of his passing was clad with secret. Perry's dormant body was found in his hot tub, and keeping in mind that no unlawful substances were found at the scene, physician-endorsed drugs were recuperated, indicating a complicated influx of conditions prompting his death. The examination drove by Los Angeles police skipper Scott Williams abstained from affirming unfairness, leaving the reason of destruction a riddle to be settled by the coroners. The amusement world laments, with accolades pouring in. Warner Rose TV bunch mourned the deficiency of an unbelievably gifted entertainer, and NBC repeated the feeling, praising his pitch, wonderful comedic timing, and wit. His Companions co-stars, worldwide pioneers, and even previous classmates like Canadian Prime Serve Justin Trudeau, who shared a clever tale from their childhood, paid reverence to Perry's permanent imprint. I left the message, I have some pride, do you know, in spite of the glamour of his profession. Perry's own life was a beginning contrast, a man who once felt total, also utter rapture while driving across the desert, finished his excursion in an agitating tranquility. His neighbors, who knew him as extremely wonderful and incredibly well-disposed, communicated shock and pity, catching the incredulity of a local area as the sun set on Blue Sail Drive, where police tape cordoned off Perry's home. The world was left to consider, how did a man who carried chuckling to millions, who stood apart even among a cast of champions, meet such a calm and cryptic end? Matthew Perry and conundrum to the last abandons an inheritance enclosed by chuckling and covered in distress. Matthew Perry's Chandler Bing didn't simply carry wry humor to our screens, he reimagined the manner in which we use humor in regular discussions. His particular comic timing was not just about conveying lines, yet additionally displaying amazing actual satire. Perry ability was clear, figuring out how to submerge in Challenge character more than 10 years and 236 episodes notwithstanding fighting individual challenges from the spotlight. Companions wasn't simply a series for Perry. It turned into his help Perry once expressed. The greatness of companion progress in the bond with my co-stars kept me grounded, he added, exploring the domain of Hollywood without the groin of companions could have seen me surrender to allurements. That check wasn't simply about abundance, it was about the obligation that accompanied it. However, wasn't all jay and jokes for Perry. His depiction of Chandler's relationship with Monica added profundity to the show. All is planned and breaks that we see in numerous on-screen pairings. Chandler and Monica's romantic tale was genuine, crude, and resounded with numerous it exemplified that even somebody apparently critical could become weak in affection. Their relationship fills in as a reference point for some underlining common regard in understanding and associations. Chandler's words to Monica: individuals may. Let's assume you really want a ton, however, I appreciate giving it all to you, embodies of unadulterated pure love. Many ascribed Perry's ubiquity to his job as Chandler, which he at first saw as a blade that cuts both ways, yet in later years he communicated happiness with driving behind such a notable inheritance. He referenced assuming that there's one method for being recollected companions is a strong decision. His unforeseen passing dazed fans overall, however, in the midst of the shock, one could envision Perry in his brand name style offering a clever quip potentially in accordance with didn't see that coming. Did no doubt Matthew Perry's fights were not obscure to people in general, but rather the profundity of his battles behind the drape of notoriety frequently stayed stowed away. It's fundamental as far as we're concerned to reveal insight into the peaceful fights this notorious entertainer looked as the world wrestles with the unexpectedness of his death. Dependence, the large horrendous thing, is excessively strong for anybody to overcome alone. However, together each day in turn we can pummel it. The renowned Companions entertainer didn't simply have a propensity for going excessively far during the later times of the notorious show. He was much of the time impaired, pushing limits well on set to such an extent that Jennifer Aniston once truly voiced her interests. We can smell it, she commented in a caring yet candid way, while Perry even had a sober friend on set. His battles were apparent. The episode that included Monica also, Chandler's wedding, was especially